right.
I don't know how to
Hey!
work it all yet. But
We
I'm
really
learning.
don't know how to work the phones or anything.
I've
at
hung
this
up on
point.
a lot of people this
Yeah.
week. Let's just say that.
So
That's
I'm still
okay.
trying to figure out what happened to the live show.
Still
There it
can't get
is.
my-
Let's do
my,
this.
flashlight to come on, because you got to swipe diagonally.
Oh yeah.
That's nasty, that dexterity.
I just asked Siri to do it. Siri do everything until I figure it out.
Live
Do it,
from the
Siri.
Connections Studio Suites. It's
Oh, no.
Connections.
I hear.
Connections
Hey,
is
Siri, help girl
relationship
out.
radio.
Hey everybody, better late than never. We got a big old storm going. I can hear things talking and come. Yeah, there
It
we
was
go.
Siri. She made the mistake.
See, I told you not to
She's
talk
not
to
that
Siri
smart.
during the show. All right, hi guys. We're here with Dr. Ken Vihek. Dr. Ken is
Hello.
gonna help us with some coping skills, mostly because we need them.
I know a lot of people who need them.
Yeah.
Coping skills.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dr. Ken, first of all, you're a psychologist. I'm touching your feet and
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Anyway, and you've been you work with a lot of you work with veterans and the like. And
Yeah.
how is the atmosphere now that that the Taliban is telling the USA
It
what to
is,
do?
You've heard of walking on eggshells. We're actually a lot worse.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had to deal in the last 11 days now since this all started. I've had to talk down 4 individuals that were suicidal. 2 of them were direct admit. One of them was an Afghan vet just a couple days ago who was called. I got transferred from the suicide hotline to me because he's one of my patients, and they said, his expression was, "What the did I lose an arm over there for?"
Yeah. Why? You know,
You know.
it's very hard to deal with.
Yeah, and then there's one that people wouldn't get, which was a Vietnam vet who saw the pictures that the news was putting up of the helicopter in Saigon and comparing it with the helicopter in Kabul. And he flashed back.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That just that imagery alone.
Well, when I saw it, it bothered me, and I'm not an Army vet. I'm not a military person. So if it bothered me, can you imagine seeing that? Can you imagine when it bothered somebody who experienced that?
Yeah. Yeah, so the Vietnam vet was like, so I've experienced 2 major losses of wars in my lifetime.
So do they feel like this is just a spit in their face? I went over
Oh,
there, I gave
it's
all,
worse than that.
and
It's worse than
lot
that.
worse than that.
This is something that it's
on a whole different
it's
level?
a betrayal.
wow.
That we went over there and did what we were supposed to do, and it's because the leaders don't have the wherewithal or the gumption or whatever else you want to term it, to see it through to the end. We have the ability to stop this.
Once and for all.
19 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, yeah, that's the thing. We had the ability to stop it even before then, but
Yes.
Clinton didn't want the shot taken for Osama
Right.
bin Laden. Let's be perfectly put it where it
Yeah.
is. At this point, are we looking at possibly, you think, Ken, more pallets of cash being laid on the tarmac at an airport somewhere?
Oh yeah. Yeah. How else do you think that people are to get out?
Yeah.
They're paying for it?
Aside from all the weapons and the billions and billions of dollars of supplies and ammos and
Well, they let
Humvees
that
and
buy
things
and
like
high
that.
for the Afghanis to.
Yeah.
You buy that?
I don't buy that at all. This
Not
has
at
been
all.
all too well orchestrated.
Very well.
Somebody suggested bombing the helicopters and just dismantling them that way.
Take them all out. Why not?
Well, why not bring them home?
Well,
They can't.
extraction's kind of difficult. So if you have to leave stuff behind,
You destroy it so the
you
enemy
either
can't use it.
burn it up, or
Yep.
you take out any and all things that are important, like firing pins or whatever.
Sure. Okay.
Even medical equipment, although on the books it's not supposed to be destroyed.
Yeah.
Never leave anything behind for them that they can
No.
use.
You don't leave anything that's going to provide aid or comfort to the enemy. I mean, it's a
Then
violation.
why did this happen?
We have no explanation for that
Yeah.
aside from idiocracy in the White House.
Yeah.
Well, at least they're finally talking about it on the news. Somebody's finally saying this is the worst leadership we've seen in decades.
And I think it's only because they're being prompted by the other G7 members.
Right,
Right.
right.
Especially after today.
It's called save face
Yeah.
in the G7. Okay, when you've got the global 7 big country or big actors, if you will, the
I see.
supers.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, at this point, we've been humiliated. It's been over a week now, the humiliation
Oh, yeah.
and just the utter
It got worse today.
confusion. And what happened today? Because I took a nap.
Oh, okay. What happened today was that President Biden came out and said that he's not going to extend the deadline past the 31st because that's the Taliban's red line.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay then. So the Taliban is definitely calling the shots.
Yeah.
That's great.
Isn't that nice?
So how do we develop coping skills to deal with the fools
That is
and
an
the follies?
excellent question. And
Is there an answer?
Yes, there is,
Okay.
actually. There's a number of answers.
Okay.
And the first one is going to be something that is extremely hard for those of us to do that are wrapped up in this and demand information constantly and input, and that is to turn the TV off.
Like I did today. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, take a nap.
Yes,
You
I
did
that
well.
Too. Yes, I can.
Okay.
What does that do for us? Does that
Well, that regenerates
puts us
me.
back into
Yeah.
our own reality?
It helps you to get some rest because most of us become sleep deprived because we're constantly looking for that new snippet of information that we get in that 30-minute cycle
Right,
that they give
right.
to us, right?
Which most of it is
It's over and over,
regurgitation.
and which just
Exactly.
continues to
there's
stir the
one.
pot.
There's one narrative that's just duplicated across
Right.
Yep.
all
For
these
hours.
platforms and then recycled again on all those
Yeah.
platforms.
So turn the TV off. Just watch 30 minutes of it. It's not going to change.
No.
The only thing that's going to change is the talking head that's going to give it to you.
See, that's how I watch the news.
Yeah. All right. And if you do want to watch something, go to YouTube and click on an episode or two of The Honeymooners.
There you go.
Watch the Carol Burnett show.
Laugh at all.
Allow
of the, all-
yourself to laugh.
Yeah. Allow yourself to really enjoy being where you are.
Try not to look at the honeymooners and go, "Wow, is that domestic violence being laughed at?"
Right,
Oh yeah. There
Right.
you go. I don't think they thought of that back then.
No, or he
You
wouldn't
know?
have said to the moon, Alice.
Right. Pow! Right in the kisser.
Yeah. You watch something that's going to make you laugh. That's mindless. That
I
you
do
don't
that
have to think about.
every
Doesn't have
day.
morals.
Every day you should
Yeah.
laugh.
You know what?
A big laugh.
Prime
a good
example, Linda, would be that the day after Kennedy was shot and assassinated, the highest rated television show, and still I think it stands up there, Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah.
Corn Pone, not anything that of any weight in the highest rated
That
show.
was the escape.
Yep, it was
That is the biggest example I
helped the
can ever
nation
give
heal.
you.
Interesting.
Does the nation turn to the Clampets?
The Clampets. Yep.
Save me.
Yep. Out by the cement pond.
I think-
How many
think-
people out there don't know what we're talking about
Yeah, the
right
cement-
now?
Oh
Cement
my
pond or
gosh,
the
there's a
Clampets?
lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Sorry.
It's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad for us.
It is. I'm sitting
That
there
lady
going,
made some great pigeon tacos, though.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh boy, now she's done it. I want tacos.
No, not pigeon tacos. Very different.
No, thank you.
So we're talking about coping skills.
Yeah.
There's been so much that has gone on and gone south so badly, and I know south
And
going
quickly.
south the reference, but
Yeah.
so quickly without a real explanation, without any consideration. It would seem to the human life. One sense we're being forced a vaccine down our throats. The next sense we're like, well, if they want to get out, we'll get them out.
Yeah, they want to.
What kind of
Kinda
a
language is
that's
that?
Circle Back Saki,
Oh,
by
yeah.
the way. That's her.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but it's very nice and comfortable in the studio right now.
Mm-hmm.
We just got a new air conditioning unit. Wanted to thank Craig. He's got 30 years plus experience at Ice Age Air. Give him a holler if you will. 407-802-7159. Grace will answer the phone. Craig is the man. Ice Age Air.
They were our first responders this week when our air went out.
Oh,
and it
really?
has been
Yeah.
trifling this week.
And there was no saving it. We had to get a new unit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and they came right out
Well,
and
it
helped
is
us
definitely comfortable.
It
in
is,
here.
isn't it?
It's a
It's
lot
nice.
better.
out. A little bit
than
more
it was.
tonnage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you
had
go.
to do it. And it lucked out because they had the unit they had a unit
That
to
we
pop
needed.
in there.
Yeah.
The thing is, the air conditioning's having a hell of a time keeping up, as is cars are having
Yeah.
times
Yeah.
with the little
Yep.
chips, and we have either shortages or people that just don't want to work or what have you. Oh, happy news story real quick about coping. Had a guy that went to the Wahoo Seafood Grill in Gainesville, which is a big gator hunt, and they got hurt real hard during the pandemic.
Okay.
They lost about $35,000 worth of fresh seafood when they had to close in the beginning.
Yeah.
Real hot pop. Some family was in there the other day, and only one other table, 10 workers. He gathers them all in and tips them $1,000 each.
Wow.
Holy moly.
Yeah. So,
Good for him.
yeah, 'cause it's just like, I love this place, and it's failing because of COVID, and these
You know,
people are working.
a lot of people are having a hard time because of, and it I think we've forgotten about that.
Yeah.
Because it kind of, hey, we take our masks off, it's over, but it's not over.
And we're not taking those damn masks off, which don't work in the first place.
Yeah, they don't work.
I mean, that's this. This is the other part. The coping skills. How do we deal with us being told this is what you have to do? This is this. This is that. You do this. I mean, we're turning into some sort of a police state.
Yeah, turning into.
I'm trying to be poetic,
Yeah,
poetic, polite,
sorry.
whatever. All right.
I have to call the
Can't
way,
cause
way
it.
it
You
is.
can't say spade a spade.
Yeah, spade is spade. I was going. Yeah, I can do that.
It's a gardening
You say it.
tool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's also military. Yeah,
Yeah. That's it. It's just
Whatever.
It's military jargon. Sorry.
It's okay.
Alpha Bravo Tango.
If you pull punches, you just become part of the problem.
Yeah, right.
You do.
It is. It's true.
So look. Ask if you have a mask on and you walk into a restaurant. Can you still smell the food?
Yeah.
If your answer is yes, then guess what? COVID gets through your mask because COVID molecules are smaller than the food smell molecules.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
they're aerosolized. It's gonna get through, and if it doesn't get through your mask, it's gonna get through your eyes or your ears.
Right.
So we're talking about coping skills.
Sorry.
No.
Debbie Downer.
No, you're fine, Debbie Downer. We're talking about coping skills. Got Dr. Ken Vihek, Linda Nunez in the house. I am Melissa Fox, and yes, it is really comfortable in the studio. Thank
Yeah,
you
it is
again.
nice.
Ice Age Air. Yeah, usually we're pit sweating by.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
now.
About,
Yeah.
about now.
Even my room, which is at the end of all the ductwork,
Uh-huh.
is nice and cool over
Very
there.
good.
Yeah.
Sweet baby
Gotta love that.
Jesus.
Oh, it's so
So
different.
yeah, and with that, it goes along with coping skills, Ken.
Uh-huh.
Comfortable environment.
Yes, comfortable environments.
All right.
Yep. You got to get yourself to where you are comfortable.
Yep, most definitely. And we are now comfortable in our connection. Come on, man. The thing, you know.
Yeah,
The thing with the guy.
The thing we
At
do.
what place?
The thing we do, you know. You know. The thing.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. We'll be right back. It's Connection Show. Oh, there's like one eye with makeup on it. That's so nice. So attractive.
Connections
this here.
is Relationship Radio.
Welcome back to Connections. We're talking about coping skills because there's been so much going on that's really, really tried our coping skills,
Yeah.
basically. Between the Afghanistan situation, which is, again, causing division between people about how they stand on how we did things, why we did things. A lot of people who are non-military do not understand the post-traumatic stress that is now rearing its ugly head due to images from Saigon comparisons just to why is daddy dead in the Gold Star families? Was this worth it? That is going on. You've got the amped up COVID-19, this is past, the pressure's on, take the vaccine, take the vaccine. So many questions that don't, have answers, that don't make sense, that all these blanket, solves, all right? Yeah, we'll just, there you go.
Well, hey, but the vaccine was approved by the FDA yesterday.
Well, that makes it
Oh,
all
wow.
better now.
Well, but I have a question.
Why?
No.
No, I mean, why do you have a
The
question?
Pfizer vaccine was approved. So why hasn't the CEO of Pfizer been vaccinated?
See, now these are things I don't know. Why I didn't know this question.
That's a good
I didn't
question.
know.
He was being interviewed on Monday morning and asked about how he felt about getting, and
Is
then
he older? What's he look like?
No, he's 59 years old.
So he
He's-
should be getting. Uh-oh,
Yeah.
for those of you playing the home game, Linda has
So-
left the room. Drink.
So, if I just, if the CEO of the company that just had their vaccine approved hasn't taken his own vaccine, what do you think?
Well, now here's what's coming up next. Now we're talking about coping skills, so
Just
it
saying.
really it's a good. There's a lot to work with under the blanket, if you will, of coping skills. The next thing that's going to happen is vaccine mandates. Vaccine mandates.
Well, Mr. Biden called for that already.
Yeah, I refuse.
Yeah, sorry, I just can't get it to come. I
That's a
can't
bunch
get
of
it to
malarkey.
come
Yeah,
out of
just
that.
the two words don't
Yeah,
go
just
together.
don't fit.
Yeah.
So he already said, he implores all the businesses and the different civic leaders to,
Mm-hmm.
consider the mandates now.
Yeah, oh yeah, do
Because
what's right.
it's like, okay, just because it was approved by the
Stricter.
FDA doesn't give you the right to take people's rights away.
Indeed, because then what's next?
Yeah.
And I keep saying that, and I've made a reference before, apparently, and keep getting called out about Nazi Germany. What I am talking about is the fascist state, the fact that we become powerless, that we are told what to do. So if that term doesn't embody it for you, and you find that to be some sort of an offensive terminology, Nazism is exactly what's going on, with the exception it's socialism instead of fascism.
Well, why go back that far?
We
Just
really
go
don't
back
have
back a month and a half ago to Australia.
Yeah. Oh God.
I mean, actually, was it 3 years ago, 4 years ago that they took all the weapons away?
Mm-hmm.
You know, now they made it illegal to protest, and now they're beating people up in the streets.
Yeah. That's always been a fun place.
I'm curious.
there's no way that could
when
go wrong, is there?
smallpox vaccination came out, was there this much pushback against?
No, and let me explain the difference. Okay, okay, here we go. The smallpox vaccine was designed to destroy smallpox. Okay, and it was able to do that because smallpox, unlike corona, did not have an animal reservoir. So therefore, it couldn't go hide in our pets. It couldn't go hide anywhere else. Once it was eradicated,
It's
it was eradicated.
gone. I see.
Learning
So the gain of
here.
function issue becomes big right
Exactly.
Yep.
Smallpox didn't have a gain of function because it didn't have any animal reservoirs.
there. Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
So therefore, they were able to say, if we vaccinate everybody, we can eradicate this and be truthful. Now, what we found out with the Pfizer vaccine is that it wanes after 6 months.
Yeah.
It starts its downward slide, which is why they're talking about getting people a booster after 8 months after
Except
the
that
shot.
it should be sooner than that, because as you're noticing, what's happening is you've already got congressmen and senators who are becoming sick, and that is longer than 8 months because they got the shots in, say, December and January.
And again, the shots do not prevent you from getting infected.
And they never will,
No.
but they will lessen the symptoms a lot.
That's what they say they will do.
Supposedly it does.
I just had 4 friends of mine that were in the hospital. All of them had been vaccinated.
At what point?
Which one?
At what point, in other words, were they vaccinated?
No,
In January or February?
within the 6 month window.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. It
Yeah.
drops off earlier than that.
Yeah.
And the
But they
problem
also
is,
had comorbidities too.
right,
You know,
and
so I'm not
that's
going to say
another
it's just that.
problem. And it never is, and that's the thing. And Dr. Dave made an assumption perhaps yesterday that the kids that are getting it are vaping.
Could be.
And it's probably,
Well,
that
that's
their lungs
aerosolized.
are compromised. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
Who'd have thought?
Super.
Mhm.
Wow.
So that popcorn lung or whatever they're talking about is probably why that a lot of the children or kids are being taken in.
And,
again,
parents who say my kid's not the one who's vaping,
you're
check
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Check it.
yeah, I see your kids at the bus stop.
We see a lot.
We see a lot. Speaking of coping skills,
Yeah. Back to that again. Yep.
well, vaping could be a coping
Sure,
skill.
could be.
So you got to watch your kids too. I mean, they're finding ways. They're being pushed into this mask and optional. And the fun thing is in Windermere, almost every kid in the high school has been opted out of the mask program.
Okay.
Not a funny story, but kind of an interesting analogy. And nobody's sick.
Yeah.
But then you got other schools where they're almost 95% masked.
And they're
And
still
I
getting sick?
cannot say that they're wearing their masks properly.
Sure.
Not that it matters, but yes, there are more infections or
Well, as
at
we
least
know, the
positive
masks
cases.
are
Yeah.
full of germs.
Irrelevant.
None of these masks are designed to be worn for 8 hours.
Certainly,
straight.
even
Right.
the N95 is just an hour at most. I
It
think.
traps so much of what we exhale, and we are not clean.
No, we're dirty people.
Yeah.
Dirty
And,
ass.
and
people.
imagine instead of getting it out of your body, it just stays hovering around your mouth to be rebreathed.
Yeah.
Whatever is in there, it's a warm, moist, dark environment.
Hello.
Gee,
I'll be over
what grows in those?
here.
Yeah,
There's a fungus
Friend.
among us.
funguses,
Fungus
molds, you
among
name
us.
it.
Yeast.
And these kids are there's all kinds of stuff that grows in there, and so they may not have COVID, they may just be sick, which compromises their system,
Right, but
which
then-
makes them available to be compromised by something
And
else.
then they utilize that
It's a downward,
term.
slippery
yes,
slope.
Yes, and then it's was it COVID complications?
Yes.
Yes. there we go.
Complications.
Complications.
And it's
So-
complicated because they make them wear masks.
Now we've talked about coping skills on and off
Yep.
for 4 years.
Yeah.
All right. The basics never change. It's what we have to cope with that
Yes.
keeps changing. So tell us some of our breathing exercises.
Sure. Yeah, that's one of the best exercises that you can do. It's the most effective. It beats the heck out of Xanax or any of the benzodiazepines, any of the downers.
And it works
just,
100% of the time.
every time because that's the way we're wired physiologically. It reverses fight or flight, and that's what anxiety is. It's our body shifting into fight or flight. So what you do is you exhale first because we have more control over our exhale than we do over our inhale. All right. So you exhale everything out. You take a deep breath through your nose to a count of 4. You hold that breath for a count of 7. Then you exhale slowly through your mouth with your tongue up against the roof of your mouth. So you're exhaling around your tongue to a count of 8. Notice that your exhale is twice as long as your inhale. And that is because when you go into fight or flight, the first reaction that we do is we breathe fast.
Yeah.
Our breathing increases, becomes shallow, right? So when you start to breathe slower, it automatically triggers the brain to reverse fight or flight because breathing slower says, hey, the anxiety has passed or the event has passed. The body wants to return to normal.
Why do you think movie makers include the breathing in scary movies? Because it amps us up.
Yeah, you follow right along, modeling.
Yeah, it brings the anxiety with it.
So you do 4 of those.
Okay.
And then after you get those 4 done and or get competent with that, then we step it up a notch. We do an emerald on you. So boom, step it up. I want you to close your eyes. Picture a place where you're extremely comfortable, which we just talked about a few minutes ago. It can be in your bed. It can be under a tree in a field somewhere. It could be on the beach. It doesn't matter. And I don't need to know where it is. You just need to picture that up on the inside of your forehead as if it's being projected there. And then you do the breathing exercise again. And each time you do this, it'll take you longer and longer to do this exercise because your lungs expand more, your muscles relax around your chest more, and therefore you get more of a refreshing effect the more often you do this. I recommend you do it at least 3 to 4 times a day. You can do this anywhere, anytime for at least 30 days. And then what happens, a neat thing, because we've trained ourselves that, as soon as I start this, my brain knows that it's time to relax, that you can do a quick 1 or 2 breath start and your brain goes, time to relax, and starts reversing fight or flight without getting all the way through it.
Look at that. It's like muscle memory and brain memory all wrapped into one.
Yeah.
So the breathing is one of the most important thing when it comes to coping skills. And of course, we already talked about maybe limiting yourself to a half hour of news. I use the word.
Yeah, use it,
Because,
half hour talking head stuff.
Okay, half hour of trying to get yourself up to date with what's going on in the world. I'm a big fan. Even if you'll notice, of your morning news programs, there's always that water cooler section,
Oh, yeah.
and that or the cat up the tree rescue story, something fluffy that makes you smile. It's National Waffle Day. Yay!
Melissa got in the car and said, it's a National Talk Like a Pirate Day. That actually exists.
That's coming up September 9th,
She did it
17th,
all
I
day.
think.
Well, just in time for Gasparilla, right?
Yeah. It actually times out very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, Talk Like a Pirate Day, things like that.
That was fun.
But that you have to have that. It's it's like the sugar, the
Gotta
tempers,
have the
salt and
diversions.
pepper. Yeah, you have to have something that you can hold in your head for a minute that makes you feel good, happy, whatever it is. TikTok video with dogs.
For me, it's Friends. I just get my laugh on every day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, just finished watching Game of Thrones myself.
Okay.
Yeah, I was actually impressed.
All of it?
All of it, all
Okay.
8 seasons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you binged
I
it?
I
binged.
didn't make it past 5.
It took a while, but now that's all packed together, I
Yeah.
am definitely Arya.
Okay.
Definitely
Oh, yeah, I can
Arya
see that.
Stark. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right.
Watch out for your needle.
Are you ready, all you fans out there and out
Use the
there
pointy
land?
part.
It's time for the
Stick 'em with
biggest,
the pointy
baddest party in the world. So get on up,
Ow.
turn it up a notch, and get
Started
ready
spitting
to
out too much
boogie,
stuff.
baby.
I handled it. Yeah. So, welcome back to Connections. We're talking about coping. One of the ways that Melissa Fox, copes is by watching television. And usually
Okay.
stuff that I can just like run over and over and over. Not the same shows. Like Linda Nunez is here. She can actually speak most Friends episodes verbatim.
Yeah.
With inflection, possibly.
And no matter
mimicking-
how many times I see it, it
Still
cracks me
funny,
up.
Still laughs.
So it's my little thing. You know, it's my guilty
That's
pleasure.
hers.
Don't hate me.
Don't hate me because I love it.
I've never seen a Friends
I
episode.
know.
Oh, no, I don't
not,
hate you.
I have not
I've
until
never, ever
I
seen
started
a
hanging
Friends
with
episode.
her. Yeah, I
It's
never.
it's an age thing. It came out right at the time I was the same age as the
Ah,
characters.
okay.
And I
All
could
right.
totally relate to where they were at that
Yeah.
time in their
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
All right.
But that's how I find respite. A lot of times I'll turn on, say, the classic television channels,
Oh.
Antenna TV,
Oh.
Me TV, and I will watch the fun stuff. Now, we mentioned about the honeymooners.
Yeah.
Not, I'm talking more about 70s and 80s sitcoms or what have you, whether it's the Bob Newhart run, and there's several of those
Yeah.
different shows, or Lucy, or just physical comedy, something very light. Again, Beverly Hillbillies.
Boomerang.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
I'm sorry. Big Boomerang fan.
I like that show. I like that movie too.
You toes.
I do.
Yeah.
The music's great.
Boomerang. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. But again, you find something that you know will brighten your day
Exactly.
up and kind
It's
of
your
that's,
go-to movie.
That's my coping skill.
Yeah.
Okay. We all have our little, our favorite things. Like I like watching Seventh Heaven every once in a while, just because
Okay.
it just makes me feel wholesome or something.
Is that Michael Landon?
No, that's Highway to Heaven.
That's
They're
Highway to
trying to
Heaven.
bring
Okay.
that back. By the way, why?
With who?
They're trying to I don't
With
know.
who?
I-
What actor would have the gravitas to play that?
Indeed, you really have to have some big gravitas.
I don't even know that show fits in the scheme of where we are
You
today.
couldn't even do Little
I
House
don't
on the
know.
Prairie nowadays.
No, I don't think so.
You know.
No,
What
yeah.
do you mean no running water?
I don't think that's
What's she
gonna
running
work.
down the hill for? Running to the outhouse. That's what she's
Telling
doing.
you that they're trying to bring it back.
Don't stop running down the hill.
I don't know who's going to do it though, but yeah, they're definitely talking about bringing them back. The series. It only ran for 5 years, but Michael Landon and Victor French, I always did like that.
I
Yeah.
did too.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a terribly rotten show. It's almost. You ever go back and watch Bionic Man or Bionic
Oh
Woman?
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
I watched it the
$6
other
million
night.
man.
Yeah.
Dude, you can tell that wasn't a government contract.
Ooh.
wow!
There's
It's
so
some
much
of
more.
the worst acting and worst cinematography
Oh,
ever.
and the
every
sound
terrible.
effects. Yeah, yeah.
Just bad.
Or the Knight Rider.
Oh god!
Yeah, because
yeah.
it was going when it was speeding faster that you could tell because the light was. No, they
Yeah.
just speeded up the film. It was
Just speed
the
it
light was.
up. Anyway, this is how we cope. How do you cope? You
Yeah.
know, well, what do you
What do you do?
What do you do to get rid of? And again, you can't. I don't find anyone that can get rid of all of the news and all of the extraneous stuff that's constantly pounding at you every day. What do you do?
Yeah.
I can.
You know what? And I used to tell my students this. They have a couple of them around here. The sensory deprivation tanks.
Oh man, I'm scared of that.
Are you?
Yeah, I don't know that I can do that.
I tell
Ever
you
since
what,
I
I
saw that
lose myself
movie
there.
Altered States.
Yeah.
We
many,
talked
many
about
moons
going.
ago.
That's not the one where the gravity is.
You
the
float in a
anti-gravity.
tank and it's dark and
Yeah.
water and it's like being.
Oh, it
It's like a
is.
super
back-
saturated salt solution, so you can't sink.
Right,
Whoa.
but you're basically back
Yeah,
in the womb.
But you have.
I'd like to do that.
Well, I don't know if they let you go in with swimsuits or not, but
I think you have to be naked, don't you?
you have to be should be naked, because that way you don't feel
that
the
would be
clothes
best.
on you.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, but the problem I had was when they first came out in this area here, their filtration system wasn't the greatest.
Yeah, whose mud am I sitting in?
Yeah, yeah, it's basically. So, but they've changed that from what I understand. So I
I'd
might,
like to
might go
hope
try one of
so,
those out.
yeah. I
but-
thought you were gonna say one of them Tommy Hawk throwing places, the axe throwing.
no, the axe. I've done that kind of stuff.
kinda
Melissa and I
cool.
sometimes go hit baseballs. It
Sure.
really
Yeah.
works.
Yeah,
Some people go to the golf range, you know,
Yeah.
and hit a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to find a decent way,
you got to decompress.
a constructive way to get a timeout to release all this pent up frustration, which is what a lot of people have now. We went veterans went from angry to sad and back at lightning
Flip-flop, back and
speed
forth.
for the last 2 weeks, and it's not changing anytime soon.
No.
And I'm sure that if you know a vet, from any war, whether it goes back Korean World War II. There's a couple of them left around. They all are feeling very, very, very confused right now, and a lack of confidence in our country
I can't
and
imagine.
what they put their life on the line for.
Yeah.
I ripped apart my pool filter today. Just to
Or what if you had somebody that died?
Just to hose out the junk and
Get
just
it
to
done.
do something mindless.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
That when I get stressed, I clean.
Yeah, I do too.
It feels good. I don't know if it's the accomplishment of something or the
Well,
activity
you can actually
itself.
see it right there. I mean,
Maybe
it's,
so. Look
yeah.
what I did. It wasn't
yeah.
that before, and it is now.
It's all orderly.
because I did
Yeah.
something. And it is. He's like I say. It's mindless, and you can kind of get away from what you're obsessing on.
yeah,
Yeah, it
it's
demands attention because you got to put the filters back a certain way.
Yeah.
You know, you got to
Some
clean them so you
precision.
don't break them
You gotta
and that
think.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
There's
yeah.
thinking involved.
there's
yeah,
thinking
it's-
involved. Yeah.
Of course,
all
if you
kinds
don't want to
stuff.
think, another stress reliever is walking and playing with my dog.
Yeah,
Hmm.
animals are
animals really
yeah,
help.
animals
good
can
that
be good.
way.
Yep.
Mhm. So here's a question: a lot of places we are talking about vaccine mandates that are being laid down and implied that you should do it. Come on, man.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? A lot of our workforce is young, and they, as it is, they're sort of wearing the mask because that's been like thrown out there. If you're not mad, but they're going to quit. What do you
Yeah.
think?
The studies are showing that the millennials are done with this.
Yeah.
They don't want to wear the masks anymore. They don't want to have these rules and regulations imparted on them. But, it's not just them. I mean, I recently turned on a position in Hawaii because of that. I didn't want to
Hawaii's
have
a hot mess.
I didn't want to have a vaccine card to show when I went island hopping.
Plus, they've got the mask mandates, and they've got numbers through the roof. So
Yeah.
they're not doing something right
Yeah.
there, are they?
No.
Is there any proof that the masks are possibly making it worse?
No.
Or is anybody looking at that at all?
They don't want to.
They don't want to look at that, but they are. But there's a lot of studies out there that'll show you that the
That
masks
they are.
don't work.
Studies have, I mean,
don't
over
work.
the years, even a surgeon will tell you it's just to keep my spit from going in your wound.
Yep, pretty much.
But
Maybe we're doing it just because we saw the Chinese do it.
But that I told you is because of air pollution mostly. I mean, some of it's bird flu, but or what have you. But most of that's just their pollution is so
Yeah.
bad. Over
I see.
That's
okay.
the whole reason. Yeah, that's
That's why they started it.
again, it's not going to stop any virus or any.
No,
Thing
no,
like that. It's
no.
not.
It's peace of mind, and again, I'm all about not telling you what to do. And I work with somebody all day who says it's up to you get the vaccine. It's up to you get the vaccine. And regardless of my personal choices, and I was asked on the radio why, and I'm like, because I work with a bunch of old people, and then they got mad. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
You're calling me old?
Yeah, I'm
What the
calling
hell?
you old. No, I'm saying that you're not healthy and you're older, and I'm
trying to
doing it
protect
for
you.
you. But take the insult, whatever. Take the insult. Yeah, you're old.
yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the reasons behind whatever you do are your reasons.
Right.
Period. And somebody forcing you when the influenza shot is not required. It's a suggestion. The fact that they're mandating all this scares me even more than anything because what's next?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know?
Where are they going to
Yeah.
take it?
And it's such a blanket statement. It's like everybody must drink milk. I'm allergic to milk. Everybody must drink milk.
yeah,
Okay, well,
yeah.
you've got a woman I talked to today who's pregnant, and she's got until September 2nd to get some sort of I am not taking the vaccination because from her doctor, she's
Yeah.
having trouble getting that form, and she's going to lose her job.
Oh, wow.
Well, civil liberties, I'm sure
Yeah.
the ACLU, one of them will jump on that case. Where's Ben Crump?
Yeah. I don't know. They're being really resistant when it comes to this. As far as fighting for your civil liberties.
Yeah, they haven't really stepped in
They haven't
at
stepped up.
all.
No.
And of course, the thing you have a lot of phrases that confuse people now, like breakthrough. They're fully vaccinated. Are they? If
Yeah.
they're getting sick, are they fully vaccinated? And
Yeah.
even if you are fully vaccinated, but see, Biden floated a lot of that. Just get the vaccine and you won't get COVID. That's not true.
That's not true.
It's never been true.
Well, and it's also everybody's body accepts things differently.
Certainly.
So yeah, you have a blanket coverage of a vaccine, but maybe your body doesn't process the whole thing.
Right.
Maybe it
exactly.
eliminates some of it. Maybe you have a natural immunity. Maybe
The
all
thing is,
this
though, with
these
that,
things
is
you
we
just have to
can't
consider.
have the natural immunity to the coronavirus. It's like a cold. We build up, and then we lower down, we build up. But you actually have to get
Well,
a cold first.
But you could have a very, very strong immune system.
Yes, you can.
You know,
and you probably could be asymptomatic and have had it and
yeah.
built antibodies and not even known. There are so many gray areas,
Yeah.
and they're perpetuating the gray on purpose.
And I'm sure Dr. Davis advised you on this show that you increase your D3 to 5,000
Yeah.
units a day, increase your zinc to 100, take a bunch of vitamin C,
NACs, yeah.
And-
Clemented minerals, or whatever that word is.
and go for it. You know, let your immune system work. I mean, vitamin D is not a vitamin.
No, it's a hormone.
A hormone.
Mm-hmm.
And, it goes into the nuclei, changes it, and
But you
there we
need
go.
some fish oil to make it all work properly, activate. I believe that kind of helps the
Kinda helps
D3 absorb.
Yeah, it gets absorbed. Yeah, helps the absorption rate.
But yeah, I mean, but taking prophylactically ivermectin or hydrochloroquine, whatever,
Yeah.
that doesn't help. Once you, I was close.
Hydroxychloroquine?
No, hydrochloroquine.
yeah.
Pretty sure that was the word. I-
Aluminum.
Yeah,
there you go.
aluminum. So anyway, we'll be right back.
You're listening to Connections Relationship
Hey.
Well, the strange thing is, people with that much talent rarely amount to anything.
All right, let's keep this train wreck moving.
Welcome back. It's Connection Show. We did this for you because we care. No, it's true. It's relationship radio with a twist. Twist tonight, we got Dr. Ken Vihek in. We're talking about coping skills. Why? Because we need them. It is hard to cope right now with all the caca that is going on. Linda Nunez is with us as well. You coping okay?
I'm hanging in there, I think. Yeah. I'm doing all right.
She just switched from Samsung to iPhone, so she's having some.
Yeah, she's-
I'm having some coping issues there for sure.
Welcome to the
Can
family.
understand.
But
that,
I got to
yeah.
tell you, I like it a lot. And it's hard to put your finger on exactly. I mean, if I had to make a list, I'm sure I could. It's just overall better, easier, and gives you more detail. That's my...
That's her
my
iPhone,
review.
It's iPhone.
versus Samsung.
Sure.
Yep, it took 5 years,
Yeah.
but I got her over.
There you
Yep,
go.
Yep.
Yeah, and now she's very happy.
I'm very happy.
Good.
Yeah,
good.
so
Gotta
there
love
you go.
that.
That's
I'll
new,
not be
Yeah.
back.
new coping skills, new phone.
Yeah.
So-
Hey, well, since you got your new iPhone,
Mm-hmm.
and we're talking about coping skills, do you like audiobooks?
Not really.
She's
No?
not used
I'm not
to
a-
them yet.
I'm not a big audiobook fan. I'm
No,
not a reader.
she's not a reader.
That's what I mean.
And
but
if
an
she
audiobook,
needs
It's hard for me to sit still.
that's
and
the nice thing about
Why
an
you
audiobook.
take
listen to
it with
anything.
you? You
See,
pop your
you're talking to
ears.
Mr. ADHD over here, okay, who can't sit with a book. All right.
No, yeah, I can't.
But you can
so-
walk with a book.
But I can walk with a book. I can drive
Especially-
around, and this is how you can turn the news off in your car.
Especially
Oh, that's a
if it's
great
Morgan
idea,
Freeman
See?
talking to
And audiobooks from the library are free.
Yes, they are free.
As long as you have a library
Yeah.
card, you can download the Libby app, and you boom,
No.
right? And you just go through, and rather than the news coming on,
You
Right.
just go
listen
to one of
Morgan
your
Go to
audio
one of my
Freeman,
books.
you
Yeah.
know,
and you're
reading
still
this.
learning and improving yourself at the same time, just not
Exactly.
Debbie Downing yourself
Yes,
all
that's
day long. Yeah.
correct. Very good.
Yeah, I don't understand the 24-hour news channels, bombarding people. But again, you choose that channel, so it's
Yeah.
really up to you.
yeah,
Yeah. Did you notice they don't play CNN in airports much anymore?
yeah, I noticed that.
What
I've
are
been
they
in a lot of
rolling?
airports lately.
I know,
so.
I know. What are they rolling on the screen?
You know, they're not. They're
It's almost
rolling
like an
ads.
in-house. Yeah, it's almost like their own in-house.
Yeah, it's turned
video.
into ads.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah. Go visit this restaurant
Yeah.
while you're here.
So it's all point of purchase stuff.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I wondered what happened. I heard that it used to be that CNN owned the airports.
Yeah.
And yeah, now you can't.
Not
It's just
anymore.
all about their advertisements.
God.
Now. Yeah, that is good because they're bad. So coping skills tonight. We've talked
Yeah.
about breathing. We've talked about television. Now we've talked about audiobooks.
Mm-hmm.
What are some ways, say, at work when you've got, as you mentioned, Debbie Downer going, if you don't get vaccinated, you can't come to the meeting. Ding, ding, ding. I don't want to go to the meeting.
I don't want
Really,
to go.
not
So,
really want to
yeah.
be there. How do we deal with coworkers?
That's one of the toughest things you have to do because if you have to be in the office and you're going to run into people with all kinds of different
Opinions.
Who aren't afraid to
ideas,
share.
and they're not afraid to share them anymore.
No.
And the thing is that they have about soundbite knowledge on all
Oh,
this.
yes. Everyone's
you
got
know.
internet knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So the best thing you can do is to educate yourself and have your reasons laid out, and they're your reasons.
But you don't have to be on display.
Nope, not at all.
And you don't have to explain yourself.
Exactly.
No. But you want to be prepared when that person does get under your skin enough to respond intelligently.
Okay. All
Okay,
right,
because
fair enough.
that gives you
Maybe plan
knowledge
it
is
out
power.
in advance.
But when you deal with your coworkers, be respectful. Say, look, that's your opinion. I have mine. We can agree to disagree.
I wish that were true. But I have seen so many people lately in this new era that we're in politically that I've just for example, just had a couple friends of mine, 38-year friendship, gone over politics. And it just baffles me that people are so upset about certain things that they would clear out their friends.
But you gotta understand, Linda. Here's what happened. Okay, a couple of years, and not even a couple of years. It's barely been a year. There was such division, and people made choices based on anger, hatred, and stupidity. And we're like, well, which one's worse? Well, I'll take this guy over mean tweets. And now a lot of them are being called on the carpet. Well, how you like it now?
Yeah.
And they have no defense.
No.
Right.
Okay, they have no defense because they've been always tit for tat. Well, mean tweets. Well, Orange Man bad. Well, he's not in the White House anymore. Now what? Now how you like it now?
Yeah.
What's
Yep.
going on?
Right.
And they have minimal explanation because they can't explain.
Well, there isn't one.
Exactly. They can't explain that they wanted that one guy out so badly that they were willing to take this. And now they're like, well, this isn't any good, but the alternative
Oh, impeachment? No, you can't do that.
or
because then we're-
25th Amendment is even worse because
be
then you
in
got
worse
Harris
trouble.
and Pelosi popping in there. So at this point, people are. I mean, that's why you're the argument's right.
Yeah, and I get that, but these two friends, they're not running the country. They're not making the decisions.
No, they're
why
not.
Why are they allowing
Because
that
it's
to
trickled that far down. Ken, what do we do in a situation like that?
Yeah, we just hope and pray for this next year and a half to go past, and get the next set of elections in and try to correct it.
Yeah.
Well, I think the midterm
And that can be a coping skill.
Yeah.
Become active in your
There you
party.
go.
Go
If
out
you're that
and do
upset,
something.
yeah, there you go.
Do something. Get off your butt. Stop complaining about it and work towards changing it.
Yeah.
Because that's the only option we have.
It
right
really
now.
is. We can't get these people out alone. It takes a group effort here.
Yeah.
And some of you complacents are not so complacent anymore.
Well, if you hadn't been complacent in the last election,
Yep.
Might be
Or
different.
if you hadn't been trying to choose, let's get the bad guy out.
Well, the theme of the summer became change. What does that say? Change what's there now into something new. And I felt like a lot of people just went with the wave. Let's get some change, and didn't really realize what that would do.
Well,
they didn't see where we were going and how good we had it.
yeah. And the thing is, I hate to be the cynic. No, I love it. I really do. But this feels like so planned out. Let's see. We'll get everybody
It
sick.
did. It
We'll
jumped
ruin
on
the
board.
presidency.
You watch the
You
NFL,
cannot
the
be this
NBA jump on
incompetent
board.
without a plan.
There's no.
I'm sorry.
There's no way. Yeah. This stupidity. There is no way you can be this stupid. Exactly.
Yeah.
Without actually being smart.
Yeah.
But the pandemic. I heard Fauci say things back in 2018 that it was coming.
I wonder why he knew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the only and Trump was going up. Economy was going great. Somebody was whispering in his ear about the Wuhan and it's a hoax and don't worry. And whoever's feeding, was feeding him information, be it as it may, I don't think it was exactly the right stuff. But this was the downfall, and that was just the way it was set up to be. And this is not getting any better because they unleashed a virus on us. Basically, that's how I see it. And I don't know where it is from there, but I know that I can't sit here all day and worry about it.
Right. You go live your life.
Yeah. It does not
Yeah.
make anything any better or different. I'm not making that change on my level.
If you're above the age of 70, 72, get the vaccine. You need it.
Yeah.
Okay, because
Protect yourself.
you're in that category. Okay, if you're younger than that and in good health, no comorbidities, govern yourself accordingly. Right, and don't be bullied into doing something just because everybody else is.
Yeah. Stop
because
the
we don't
bullying.
know what the long-term effects of this is.
No.
This is the fastest anything's ever been given FDA approval. And do you think if the Afghanistan thing hadn't happened, would we have gotten FDA approval?
Oh, no. These are all things that are just being pushed through. Again, everything has a purpose for somebody.
Yeah, yeah.
And the fact that the FDA approval now, of course, all your contenders are like
Yeah.
It went too fast. Now why are they doing it? And with good reason, these people have contentions.
Yeah.
Why? Why Pfizer? Why not Moderna? Well, the paperwork.
Yeah, Moderna filed 3 weeks later.
J&J. Oh, they're
okay.
still getting themselves together. Yeah, whatever. It's all caca. You just got to pay attention to the dealer. Watch the dealer's hands.
Yep.
That's the way I see it. Coping skills.
Read a book.
Read a book. Watch some TV. Breathe.
Pet your dog.
Pet your
Pet
dog.
dogs.
Take
Yep.
up a new
Take 'em
hobby.
For walks.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Ken Viek, for
Turn
joining
everything
us.
off for a while.
Okay.
You're welcome.
I can do that.
You
Linda
can always turn it
Nunez.
back on.
That's right.
Thank you for joining us today, Linda.
Thank you for having me, Melissa.
Lizzie, we miss you. Sorry,
Lizzie!
technology sucks sometimes. I am Melissa Fox. Thanks for joining us.
Sex is always good.
Sex is good.
Hey now.
Love you, mean it.
That was a nice
Laughing time is over.
There you have it, boys. Case closed.
You've been listening to Connections. Find tonight's show and replays of our past